If you're watching by YouTube, greetings, or if you're watching by Facebook, greetings. I do have a page on Facebook called Nitro We Pay Rent Now Fix It, and it's on this page that I share info for Nitro residents across the city about jobs and job training or rallies being held to save and protect Section 9, otherwise known as NYCHA. In other words, any and everything having to do with NYCHA is shared on this page, and tenants themselves post questions and post video concerning or showing the conditions in which they're living with in the hopes of getting some help. I do advise all NYCHA tenants to first consult with their TA president because many times they have no knowledge or aren't even aware of an issue you may be facing. For the simple fact, many tenants have stopped complaining a long time ago as a result of promises to fix it by NYCHA that never came to pass. It's insulting and indeed humiliating to have to keep complaining with promises to fix it and then nothing happens. No rhyme, no explanation. They just didn't do it. That's a level of disrespect I won't even get into in this video, but you have to have experienced it to understand it completely. Some people have learned to take it in stride while others are still fighting. And some of those fighting posted a video and pictures of mailboxes being vandalized. The history of vandalism in one of these buildings goes so far back, they were without use of their mailboxes for a whole 2 months, waiting on NYCHA to fix it. The Postal Service had agreed to hold their mail until NYCHA replaced the locks because the boxes have to be secure before placing mail in them. So for an entire 2 months, tenants had to pick their mail up at the post office while waiting for NYCHA to fix the locks. Then suddenly, a notice was posted on the mailbox panel written by the Postal Service announcing that all of that mail, which they had been holding, waiting for NYCHA to fix it, was going to be returned to sender because they too had gotten tired of NYCHA waiting on them to fix it. Those mailboxes had been broken into so often and so regularly that everybody knew that even after they fixed it by changing the lock, that all you had to do was jerk it hard one time and the whole panel would fly right open. So the question became, why aren't they watching the cameras in the ceiling of each and every building? How is it that mailboxes and entry doors are vandalized and broken into on a regular basis, and no attempt on the part of NYCHA is made to protect and preserve its own property? These mailboxes and doors cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to replace, as much as $250,000 for the full replacement of an entrance door. Yet people can freely break it, and ain't nobody complaining but the tenants, who are either locked out their building, can't use the intercom or key because it's no longer working, and any and everybody can now go into their building and do God knows what. The vandalism is habitual and apparently accepted by everybody, except those living within the buildings. Last week, some tenants posted a video right here on this page showing the vandalism of not one mailbox, but two. The other in an entirely different building right beside the first one. It was as if they weren't successful with the first, so they went on to the next building and proceeded to pull out the entire case of mail and left it on the floor. The first attempt was made on brand new mailboxes, just recently installed. And despite the fact that during the unveiling of these mailboxes, in the presence of the property manager, the project manager on the construction, the state assembly member, and construction team, when tenants were asked what they thought about their new mailboxes, a tenant did not hesitate to tell us point blank they're going to bust those open just like they did the other ones. So what difference does it make? I did my best to convince her that that wouldn't be the case because we had already determined to send a message that vandalism is over and had already scheduled meetings with NYCHA, Public Safety, PSA4 Inspector and Lieutenant, Tenant Watch Supervisors, everybody you could think of, including the property manager and superintendent for precisely those reasons. Yet within 2 weeks of that meeting, the pictures of vandalism, along with the video, were posted right here on this page, showing the damage to new mailboxes and the removal of the entire case left on the floor of the lobby.
Look, these are already all open. Yes. The lock is already broken. You can see here where they're trying to pry it open with a screwdriver.
Yeah, they take a screwdriver, they pop it open, it snaps inside. Okay.
I took those photos and those videos and forwarded to the same people we had just met with. And I had estimated the time that it was believed to have occurred because what we have been continually stressing to the people who believe that cameras do not work, they do work. And they are fully able to see all they need to see within the lobbies and entrance doors of these buildings. So why haven't they catch people? Because no one is watching the tape unless told of an incident that occurred and the approximate time it's believed to have occurred. Because there's no one watching those tapes, although they run consistently around the clock. Do the math. NYCHA has 326 developments throughout this city, and each of those developments have 10 or more buildings within it. That's the amount of manpower it would take to regularly watch the tape around the clock, and they're not going to do it, except when told that there's something that needs to be looked at. So the video and the pictures that were posted on this page were forwarded with an estimated time it was believed to have occurred. And 2 days ago, during our general monthly meeting with our residents, the residents in attendance were able to identify who was responsible. Because the picture taken from the video, which was watched, clearly shows the image of the person in the very act of vandalism in both buildings. And although the tenants would not publicly announce the name of this person, that intel was communicated to the authorities, who now have their name and address, and a warrant for their arrest is being processed as I speak. Nevertheless, do not give up and sit back and relax just yet, for there's reason to believe another person is also involved. And we intend to have ongoing meetings concerning this until vandalism is no longer an issue here in this development. Shout out to the residents who did speak up, because you're the ones who are making it happen. It, in fact, will take all of us as a community to safeguard and protect our development against those who are trying to destroy it simply because they can. But once it's known that people have been arrested and that you will be seeing whatever it is you're doing in the lobby, that in itself is quite a deterrent.